Lights, camera, action.
In a studio where local filmmakers talk to other filmmakers about the inside world of film.
Cut.
That's not the script. It. We'll fix it in post. Do you wonder how films are produced and what really goes on behind the scenes? Well, stand by. Filmmakers Kevin Mumphrey, Victoria V.A. Jones, and Carson Hype Ferguson explain all the details. Right here on It, We Will Fix It in Post podcast.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Whenever you're listening, I thank you for doing so. I'm Kevin Mumphrey once again, and we'll fix it in post. I have my colleagues with me once again, Karsten Hype Ferguson and Victoria V.A. Jones.
What's going on? Yeah, it's not black now.
Thank you for all listening once again. I'm guessing you've all seen the new trailer for The Little Mermaid. You didn't even let me finish.
I don't care.
So,
Hey, look. She said, look at me. I'm the captain now. I'm the captain now.
So, what did you all think of the trailer?
It's a trailer.
I loved it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, The Little Mermaid was not my favorite Disney movie, but I like The Little Mermaid. So, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, okay, this what's up.
So, only thing I thought of was, what's her name again?
Halle.
Halle,
yeah. Homegirl can sing.
Halle Bailey.
They both can sing.
I never really.
Halle Bailey. Halle Bailey.
If it was, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I only see them on the Shade Room. Like that's all I see them on. So I don't really just be paying attention to them like that. But I'm like, oh, these girls could really sing. So,
really?
Yeah.
Where have you been, Kevin?
I'm too old for that. Like,
what do you mean?
Like, what song I'm supposed to be listening to at first?
But they're all over social media.
But you got to think the way the algorithm is, or whatever. Kevin and myself ain't gonna be seeing them like all the time. I see because I'm in so many different areas, whatever, and so many places, whatever, all over the internets.
Yeah,
internets.
The internets.
Okay,
I don't even see them a whole lot. I mean, they have a big profile within a certain subset of a certain deal, but they're not infamous like that everywhere else.
Now, after seeing it, I'm like, oh, this is great. Everyone's gonna like it. Then, boy, no.
First of all, shout out to the director. He is the director of my favorite movie. That's Chicago.
Anyways,
okay,
you're doing too much.
What about?
Okay. Right.
I'm just asking a question.
Look, she already ready to get defensive. Let's get ready
favorite.
I said movie. Only thing I said was shout out to the director. All right. So let's skip over that.
No.
And let's get to the real point.
No. She also cut you off a couple times.
I know.
You gonna take that?
I know.
You gonna take
that? I have a lot going on right now. I'll let one slide. But there was a noticeable backlash. Because the original Mermaid was a cartoon and not a real person. But I guess in this one, since we're doing an actual one, and that person being black has been a bit of an issue. So when did you all notice the backlash?
I mean, I knew it was happening.
Immediately.
I knew it was going to happen because this has been a thing for a while now. Now, some people have actually made relatively, viable points.
What are the viable points?
Why not tell a story that it wasn't Ariel, but it was like another, tell it off the Ivory Coast. Which brings up to a fact, why aren't we using African mythology in any of these tales? Why are they always finished tales? I mean, no, seriously. And I'm not even one of those oh yeah. I'm I want to see different stories.
Yeah.
And then I don't like the idea of getting somebody else's necessary sloppy seconds, as some people would say.
See, now I do understand that feeling. Yeah. But it's a lot harder to market. At least you would think.
But you know what? We live in a day and age where the marketing people are really lazy. I'll just say it because I have some background there. They're really lazy. They're establish IP. All we got to do, put a black face on it. Put it out the door. We're good. And then they use the controversy to sell the damn thing.
They do that. I will give it to them.
So you do believe the controversy that's coming from this?
Oh yeah.
I think some of it is actually drummed up. They specifically baked it in. They were like, oh, we can't wait. We already know what they're gonna say. Oh, as soon as they see one of them N-words or whatever, that exec's like, yes.
That's a lot of yeses.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
that yes kind of hurt my feelings a bit. But so, do you think you feel like that they may have gotten the actress more
Maybe
for the controversy?
Maybe. I mean, like everything is very, very. I'm not gonna say regimented, but it's very calculated in Hollywood. Nothing happens by accident, right?
Right.
Nothing. So like, if the best person for the job is Brad Pitt, yeah, that's cool. But if it's Danny DeVito, you're like, why Danny DeVito got his shirt off?
Right.
That don't make any sense. That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. I'm like, oh, he's the best person for the job. What? Maybe if this was twins, it'd be funny, but nah.
Now you've also heard the argument that because now the stories that you've seen that are, of course, they're usually fictional stories, and
right.
they put a black person on it, and it causes a black lives. But let's say on the other side, there's depictions of actual people that were historically black, but are played by
Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one.
A lot of it.
So, because apparently there's a lot of white people in Egypt.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm sure they visit.
I mean, one of the things that I've heard before. I don't know how historically accurate this is, but I've heard that people didn't view a lot of Egypt as part of Africa. It was like its own thing.
But it's in Africa.
I understand that, but because it was so culturally relevant to a lot of different places in the world,
right?
They were like, "Oh, maybe it's just like a transient community, or something." I don't know. Like I'm really not making any sense right now because the argument doesn't really make any sense. But there was a lot of people that wanted to kind of wash over Egyptian history as well, and then make it something else. Because they romanticize that, at least that part of the Africa.
But here's the thing. When we are depicted within the white eyes, like Egypt, and they have all these characters, or they put out a movie that have white faces in it, and we complain, the thing to us is like, oh, it's not such a big deal. Why are you complaining about it? It's not a big deal. But if we complain, or if they complain, it's just, and we say, "Oh, it's not a big deal." It's a whole different story.
But I don't even go that way. I just say there are certain people that they want to make both arguments, and they be like, "Oh, it's just a cartoon character. Oh, it's not real." Be like, "Well, why are you putting your hat in the argument then if it's not real?" Because you're making an argument that way too.
Yeah. Like
one of the best takes was like, "Hey, where's the originality? Why don't we have the African stories? Why don't we have more of the dipping into the African lore?" And I'm not even gonna make the ones where people are like, "Well, if you change Black Panther," and they be like, "Oh, well, race was integral to the story and all that," and I'm like, okay. Well, actually, nobody said that to Black Panther. Like one of the arguments I heard was like, "Oh, you wouldn't change Mulan because race is integral to that." I'm like, it's not really a race thing; it's a cultural thing. So if she wasn't from was Mulan from China?
Not sure actually.
It wasn't Japan. It wasn't Japan.
I can't remember.
I thought it was Chinese. Wasn't it a Chinese story?
I think so, but I'm not.
See, look. That's how. I mean, it was a good story, but I didn't even I didn't pay that much of attention to that part of it or whatever. But okay, so if you took the cultural elements out of it and put it in a different part. I mean, there's certain cultural things that might transfer over that you might be able to change slightly because of what part of the world you're in. But I mean, is that the core of that story? Is that really integral to Chinese or Asian culture? No. I think most cultures could adopt a story like that.
Right. Every culture can.
Yeah.
To a war story or something like that of that aspect. You know what I'm saying?
You have the child that's trying to prove themselves.
Right.
The father, the family's dealing with some stuff, whatever. The girl element is that's almost everywhere in the world.
Right.
Be like, oh, the father wanted a boy, wanted the first boy.
Yeah. Now
the father feels shame because he can't send his son to work. Isn't that kind of weird? You want to make the family proud, to send your son to war who probably ain't coming back?
I mean, that was in the culture. though.
Disposable.
So how they think of us men. Yikes. But okay, you were speaking like culturally and all that. So they may do a film on, let's say, Jesus. I don't think I've ever
black.
I don't think I've
black,
ever even
black.
seen a brown skinned Jesus being depicted.
On Adult Swim, I have.
Okay.
That ain't my grandma Jesus. I tell you what, that was smoking weed and riding around in a Cadillac, man. I'm like, that's not Jesus.
I first saw that, I was like, what do I want to watch this?
No lie. I said Jesus.
I was like, do I want to really watch this? And then I started watching it, and I was like, okay.
Nah, we can't do
now,
that.
is it kind of I don't want to say cringe, but like the only depiction of a black per se Jesus is one that fits a society stereotypical version of who they think we all would be.
It's not, for me, it's not a cringe. It was
I don't know what to call it. You may have seen it just a comedy, but it's like, and maybe I'm kind of expanding more of a thought here, but it's like the only depiction of a black Jesus is a comedy that kind of feeds into stereotypes.
Well, that's a problem. That means that somebody else needs to come out with the version that should be out.
You know what I want though? I want like more like Men of Valor stories. I want a Mansa Musa story. That man's supposed to be the richest man in human history. He owned the Silk Road,
and he will be played by Tom Hanks.
He was a black Arab. he was a black man of Arab descent.
Not in the movie that's coming out.
Nah. We ain't doing no. What was Mel Gibson? What was he? He was which one was he?
Passion of the Christ.
No. Like Mel Gibson did one where he was in Mexico, and it was like Get the Gringo. And then Brad Pitt was like the Hispanic.
I know Brad Pitt.
It was like a title. It was weird. It's like Hispanic or something like that.
I know.
I have no clue. I don't know.
And I was like, what the hell? What the hell? The Last Samurai was Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. I think
what? What movie is this?
The Last Samurai. The Last Samurai. Tom Cruise was the Last Samurai. I'm like,
get out of here. Never mind.
No, that's serious.
They said representation.
Get out of here.
That's what they said. He was very honorable. Last Mohicans. Come on. They've been doing this for a minute.
Yes. So, this 2001 film's called The Mexican.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's portrayed by Julia Roberts and Brad Pitt.
Yep.
So who was the Mexican?
Brad Pitt. But hey, to their credit, the Spaniards, I think they was getting around.
Yeah, was this even filmed in Mexico?
Them Spaniards was getting around back in the day.
It did well. Made
I bet you it did do well.
$147 million.
I bet you it did.
But because it's Brad Pitt,
right?
That's really what it is.
Yeah,
because it was Brad Pitt.
Yeah, because it was Brad Pitt. I mean, if
filmed in Los Angeles,
I like you ain't start like Kevin ain't starring in the Mexican.
Yo. Wait, what?
I'm saying it ain't gonna do that well. It ain't gonna do that well.
Wow.
It ain't gonna do that well.
No Olaf for me.
Wow.
I'm like,
wow.
Man, you don't obla anyway, man.
I mean, he can play. One parent would be
Mexican,
right?
You got an obla, man. You don't obla.
But Brad Pitt does.
Hey, money talks.
So now, though, I was going to ask that, and you kind of threw that point out, and I'm thinking more of like past movies. Do you think a part of it is because there was kind of a depiction that people of color don't sell, especially like overseas?
Our culture does, though.
Yes. So, do you think that's kind of part of why they kind of
people just hate? That's all that is.
Well, like the culture not selling, I don't think that has a point because a lot of American movies don't make it over there anyway. I mean, like
overseas.
I'm talking about in China because that's a big emerging market that most of people care about. And then we're not making American movies anymore. We're doing this like movie making through like some kind of weird like check a block category thing to be able to appeal to another market and doesn't get that market, and they don't care about the first market, which is America. If you can do well here, then you can take a show on the road because people they want American culture. That's what we're exporting.
Oh, I know. That's the reason why you know artists can go overseas and do a concert and only play their old stuff.
Yeah. Well, not just that.
They hip hop acts. They do well overseas.
Not just that. Like some of the newer people, they go over there, they go over to Europe or whatever, tour over there, make some money. I mean, some real money, and then come back over here, and then now they throwing money in your face.
Because of money they got from like Dubai or somewhere like that.
Yeah, Dubai, like touring all over England or whatever.
Right.
Like yeah, because like was it because a lot of people don't even they only like you in your own home sometimes. Sometimes you have to go away.
Oh, that's all the time. There's never a time where
I ain't gonna say all the time.
Listen, that's all the time for me and everybody else I know. Look where I'm at. Look where Kevin's at.
But partly is probably because they know where you came from, and they don't imagine that you could come from the same place they come from and do something.
And do something with yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
So
that's a thing. I know.
That
is a thing.
There you go.
Now, you said you wanted to see
Mansa Musa.
Mansa Musa. Who would you want playing that role?
Who would I want? Mansa Musa.
Yeah.
I want Denzel playing Mansa Musa. I want that trembling lips. If I can't get him, on Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx?
I want the trembling lip. Jamie Foxx can do a hell of a job now, man. Hey, don't be sleeping. Don't be sleeping on Jamie Foxx.
I'll admit, I remember when I first heard Jamie Foxx was going to do Ray Charles, and I definitely underestimated
He killed it.
him.
He killed it.
I feel like everyone thought something like Jamie Foxx. Like I know he can do the impressions
Well, I mean, he was doing comedy at the time, and you've never seen him in a real role, so that's the reason why you felt that way of Jamie Foxx.
He did what the what's the dude's name in Ali before that, right? Wasn't that before? Wasn't Ali before Ray?
What was it?
Shortly before.
Yeah, like he played the corner man of Ali.
Yeah, but he wasn't like the star of Ali.
Yeah, but I mean that was a heavy role that he played though, and it's like if he's typecast for just comedy, that's a good role right there.
And I think it didn't get paid much attention because people were more shocked at Will Smith's portrayal of Ali.
It was good.
That it overshadowed.
I think it was a very good. It was a very good supportive role because I remember that one time where they were in a hotel or whatever in that movie Ali, where he goes and gets him because he was on them drugs.
Right.
And he's like, nah. And then my man felt shamed. He saw it all in his eyes. They didn't really have to say that much. I'm like, man, that's some good ass acting.
No, but he's a good actor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. That's one of the reasons why people were like, oh, he's playing Ray. Because we're used to his comedy. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason.
He is insanely talented on so many levels.
Oh, I know.
The impressions alone. You know what I'm saying? He can get paid off of that right there. Like I saw him impersonating Denzel Washington and Denzel Washington's face. He said, put your hand on me. He's like, get your hand off of me. he did that lip tremble. I was like, oh my God, man. And then Denzel started laughing. That's all He's like, man, he said something else, man, something from Training Day or something like that. And I was like, oh, man.
Oh, that man. You have to go to Training Day.
That man is so talented. It's not even funny.
Now, Victoria, who would you want to see?
What you mean?
Portrayed, what historical black figure would you want to see a movie or portrayal of? And who would you want to see portray that person?
I have no clue. We've been over this. I've said historical. I don't know. I gotta think on that. Kevin.
And you still ain't got
Kevin,
nobody?
Kevin.
So I'm trying to think of this person's name. And I hate that the two people I can think of were gangsters. But I like gangster movies. So you heard of Frank Lucas?
Yeah.
The guy that he was under. Now there is Bumpy Johnson. So, and I know there's the Godfather of Harlem one, which I mean it's pretty good, and it kind of portrays the relationship between Malcolm X him because I didn't know that they were that close.
Detroit Red.
Yeah. So the person I want to see is the person that Bumpy came under. It was a lady named Queen. Queen, I just can't think of her name. But it wasn't a lot of, this is like early 1900s. So you don't hear about women carrying positions of power.
But they did a lot. It was like real quiet. Running numbers and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Now, Queenie had her own racket. And she gave it up and gave it to Bumpy. And you've seen, she's been portrayed in movies, but you never seen a movie about her. Now, and I think Cicely Tyson played the role of her. But I'm thinking like,
that's a good role for Cicely.
Yeah, but I would think, and honestly, I would say if she was still alive, I would want her to portray the role. Plus, like now, God, I feel like it's such an easy answer.
It's not, is it?
No. I mean, the person that want portraying her, I was gonna go. I keep forgetting her name, but she's in the new movie, I guess like King.
The Woman King.
Woman King. Yes.
Oh, Viola.
I feel like that's where I want to go, but I feel like that's such an easy answer.
It's kind of weird though, because I'm kind of torn on that one. Because if you look at the history of that tribe, like that history versus the movie depiction, and Judge Joe Brown talked about that. He talked about like it didn't go the way this movie's like trying to portray.
But how often is that's usually the case?
No, I'm saying like it ain't loose. It ain't loose. It's like total reimagination.
Have you seen the movie?
I have not, but one of the African studies professors I listen to is talking about it. But I know the history of the tribe. I actually talked to one of my friends from Africa that's telling me about the history of the tribe, and then I read up on some of the stuff too, and I was like,
Now I've heard a little bit about it. I don't know too much, but I think the kind of the great thing about that is causing more attention to that tribe that the average person may not even.
Is that a good thing though?
Because
I'm like, what kind of attention are you getting? Is the thing is that a good thing to get the attention that you're getting now?
Because if they look back, because if you go and look it up, you're gonna say, okay, this is not how I saw it in the movie, but at least you're starting to see
Case
who it is.
Case in point, Sin-K, the dude from Amistad, Give Us Free. And I was like, how come I never heard of this guy? Come to find out, after he got his freedom, where he started a slave colony. I guess he had an inside track, huh?
There's a plot twist.
Right.
Yeah, I'm guessing that part of the movie got cut out.
They didn't mention that at all in the movie, because typically they'll be like, they'll have the words on the screen. What happened next? What happened to this guy next?
You can't write that down.
Yeah, you can't write that down.
After obtaining a freedom, he bought some slaves, and the end.
I was like, man, that is wild. I was like, how come that's not part of the story? You glorify one part of it, but like, isn't it the summation of
I haven't seen the film, so I cannot sit up here and say
Amistad?
No, I have not seen that film.
You never seen Amistad?
No.
It was my man that played Midnight in Constantine, which they're gonna make a second Constantine movie.
Why? Let's get back to Little Mermaid.
Oh, okay. All right, back.
So who's watching The Little Mermaid?
Me.
Her.
Of course, y'all are guys.
I mean, okay. There's certain
Like,
stuff.
If I'm just so happen to be in Memphis and my niece is there and she wants to see it, I probably would take her to see it. But chances are she's not going to be up here, and I'm not going to be in Memphis, so I don't.
Boom. There you
really see it happening.
Yeah. A whole new world.
I don't even know why you said that, but it
Right.
kind of
That's the wrong movie. That's the wrong song. Wrong
isn't
movie.
that song in there?
No.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean that's the original song from the original cartoon.
The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, a whole new world.
A whole new world.
Yeah, it's a whole new.
That's
world.
Aladdin.
No.
It is. It is Aladdin because they sung that on the carpet and everything while I was flying.
Well, I thought it was like she was like talking about the world or whatever.
No.
Man, hey, most of man, whatever, man. I don't care.
No, because I was with you for a second. I was like, I think that's it.
Oh
And then
no,
I'm thinking-
yeah. You're right. My bad.
So they definitely won't be seeing it.
So
But I definitely will see it. Okay.
you're having the same
All right.
revelation I had.
I like, but you know, like you watch all those Disney movies basically at the same time. Like you can almost interchange the songs out.
Yeah.
It's the same similar themes, whatever. And I'm not saying it's the exact same song, and I'm not trying to trivialize it either. So don't come for
Listen,
me.
don't hate.
Don't come for me.
Don't hate on the
If I
Disney.
messed up the Disney
Okay.
song, please.
I was a Disney singing kid. Okay.
Okay.
Don't mess it up.
All right.
Put the right songs with the right movies. All right.
I was Lion King, and that was kind of it for me.
Now my favorite was Alice in Wonderland. Oh my goodness! Now I know Alice in Wonderland, the live action already came out, but oh my goodness, if that person was black, oh my goodness,
Wait.
if the lead actress was
who
black,
was the lead in Alice in Wonderland?
I forgot her name, but she was white.
You said if she was black.
It's
Right.
funny when they're black, you remember their name. They seem to be a lot more memorable.
Well, I mean, I remember their names. They're good actors.
I mean, it was good, but I liked the cartoon better. The cartoon movie was better than me.
I mean, like, in this day and age, I don't know if the live action would be any better than the cartoon in a lot of the cases. But then again, that's like, you know, the kind of creative stuff. But you put Tim Burton directing that joint, I don't know. You might give him a chance. But didn't he do Alice in
Did he? Look it up, Kevin.
or one version of it or something like that? Maybe it was like a spinoff.
Who was the director of Alice in
I
Wonderland
want to say
live
Tim,
action?
I thought Tim Burton did it with his. I don't know if they're still married, but his wife at the time. No, she
Because
was-
you know there's two that came out.
Yeah, I want to say he did one, and Johnny Depp was like the Mad Hatter, something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I remember the movie poster, and I was like, man, who would have thought he would have made that movie?
Was it Tim Burton?
It was Tim Burton.
Look at did he do both of them or just the first one?
I got the 2010 film.
So what about it's another one?
They did of
Through
course,
the
there's
Looking
another-
Glass, I think is what it's called.
It was what?
Through the Looking Glass.
Through the Looking Glass. Jesus. I don't know. It sounds a little creepy to me, but that's just me. No, James Bobbin.
Oh. They look like totally different movies anyway, so you know what I'm saying?
Honestly, this Through the Looking Glass thing looks like what I would think Tim Burton would do.
But Tim Burton did the other one
Yeah, this is creepy.
because he wanted to be truer to the aesthetic of the cartoon, probably. Because the movie poster looked closer to that,
Yeah, I mean it was.
but it was still done it slightly in his style, like it was like over exaggerated.
But that's his style though.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Alice in Wonderland was his style.
Yeah.
That's why it was so close to the cartoon. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I wanted to get to this point before we wrap things up, because I'm pretty sure you've heard there's usually always been mention of Robert Downey Jr. when he went somewhat in brown face or whatever for
Tropic Thunder.
Tropical
Tropic
Thunder.
Thunder. That was it. So now, at the time that it came out, did y'all feel a way about it at all?
No,
No.
I was like, he's a good actor or whatever.
Right.
He's not a caricature. He's just, I mean, I don't know. And
Yeah,
then Brandon T. Jackson addressed, like, you know, any concern that somebody might have, and they did it in a way where it's kind of funny, but it like brought light to some stuff. So I think that's good if you can use comedy, like, you know, bring awareness to things.
So you think they could have? Because I was thinking, like, yeah, I didn't feel a way about it neither. And I mean, I still don't feel much of a way about it now.
No,
but I'm
I
like,
definitely don't.
could he do it again? Because Jamie Foxx, there's a film.
I'd be cool
that
with
he
it if he
did.
did it again.
There's a film that he did, like, and I remember him talking about it, like, called the All-Star Game. With like some friends going to the All-Star weekend and a whole bunch of events, whatever. And they had Robert Downey Jr. playing, I believe, a Mexican or something. But he's not playing a white man. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
He's not putting the film out because
Because the environment.
because the environment is much different.
But wasn't Iron Man originally like partially Hispanic?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I want because like some of the way they drew him, I cannot remember per se because I didn't really read Iron Man comics. But I mean, like with the certain mustache, That wasn't like, that wasn't Caucasian features.
I have no clue.
No,
I'm not a comic.
and I think even with that,
I went in that
I
comic
think they
like
would have
that.
let that slide because of the kind of aesthetic of Iron Man looks so much like Robert Downey Jr. and just Robert Downey Jr.'s even mannerism. It was almost like the perfect casting of any Marvel film.
That's probably one of the more perfect castings out of films in general in the last like 20 years. It's probably like
Because
one
I
of the
can't think
closer
of a
ones.
more like just be like, oh yeah, this is an obvious fit.
I was like, I could say Tom Hanks, like Forrest Gump and Castaway. I can't think of one.
No, Tom Hanks and when he played Mr. Rogers.
I see. I hadn't seen that.
He seemed
It's
like
a good movie.
I heard it was.
Yeah, I always heard it was a pretty good movie too. But he seemed like of course, Tom Hanks is a great fit for films, but yeah, I heard he was like a perfect fit for that. But I was just thinking because this kept being. I know within the last few months it was brought up just because of Jamie Foxx not wanting to bring out this film, and I was like, oh, could he do that again? Like if they redid Tropic Thunder, could Robert Downey
Probably
Jr.
not today.
I think other people wouldn't take the chance. Like Robert Downey Jr. spoke on that on the podcast, and he said I didn't have no problem with it. Other people would have problems with it, but I don't think he would have a problem with it. He's like, I didn't mean anything by it. I was like, it was written by a bunch of different people. You have black people on set to object if it was really that bad. I still don't find it that bad.
but that just
But
because you
they
have black
listed
people
that
on
they
set,
had
that
object.
really doesn't.
You probably have black writers as well.
I don't think did somebody black write that?
Maybe that scene. They were like, "Hey, we want to be culturally sensitive here," and then slide that over.
You think? What do you really think back then that was happening?
Hey, what do you think about that? Eyebrows
Really?
up too much.
You really think that was happening back when that film was?
I don't know, man.
Like,
I don't know.
Hey, my brother.
I don't know. This is
Check
my
out
speculation.
page 146.
This is my speculation.
If you go, we burn that page.
Oh man.
Listen. I don't know if any black people were part of that, but I guarantee whoever wrote that part, somebody was like, "Hey, of color, look at this right here."
Of color.
A of
That's
color.
what's an A of color.
Is this what y'all would
Hello,
do?
my colorful friend.
Is this what y'all would do right here?
Hello, my fine colored gentlemen.
And then they said,
I'm actually
"Nah, we
more
wouldn't do
offended."
this."
like, what the hell? You're like, who the hell you talking to?
And they were like, "Oh, we're gonna pay you this amount of money right here, colored individual."
Colored individual.
Man, that is wild, man. Yo, you know what's crazy to me? I really don't like that. I really don't like that term people of color. Because what's the difference between colored people and person of color?
How come people ain't upset that?
No, seriously. You know what the difference is?
What?
50 years. Ah!
On.
Wait, no, we're not ending it on that. I don't care. We are not ending it on that. You better not end this episode on that right there.
Oh man, come on.
You have anything else you want to add to it?
Yeah, we gonna make something else to add because we ain't ending it on that.
Man, come on, man.
On that bad joke that he did.
Yo, she's the same one that said, "You fine colored gentleman."
But we wasn't gonna
And
end
that
it
was
on
way
that.
more awkward. That was way more.
What the hell?
That felt like I got a shower after that one. Like, that was bad.
Yeah, like,
That's how Hollywood is, man. Let me tell you, I'm-
if somebody comes up to you on the street, Kevin, and
they
be
getting
like,
slapped.
hey, colored gentleman, can you check the air pressure in my tire? I'm like, man, hold up.
Oh, my goodness.
Look, all the myths is gonna come out of him.
So, I don't know which one will make me react. Because, like, Like person of color, you can't use it formally. Like it has to be in a book, or you are in like a setting or a business setting. I can probably it sounds
not
better.
even a business setting.
Like well, I don't know. Like when they're just trying to do stats or something. Like you just
Stats.
You just can't be like I just can't like hey let me get 10 on pump 5. Okay, person of color. Like it's not.
Oh,
Or somebody go hey. People of color in this party.
Oh,
like, no, that ain't gonna work.
No, we all shooting in. I don't care. At a party, and
Yeah.
somebody just points you out like that, and they of another color,
You gotta cut the music off and
ain't no music getting cut off.
the record skips. Actually, no. Play that Tear the Club Up. Thugs.
Perfect.
99. Yeah,
Perfect.
go ahead. Put that on.
That's exactly what's gonna get played.
Yeah, go ahead. Put that on.
Oh, put your gang signs up is what you need to play. That'll get me right. Or Nook if
But-
you buck right there.
Oh, that'll do perfectly.
Or to the Dallas folks out there, some DSR. I'm gonna do something bad to you
Okay.
because
okay.
you's a mother.
Oh, okay. I had
This has gone rather violent.
I had and we were talking about the Little Mermaid. So how do we get to this point?
Because of me.
Bingo.
But a question I wanted to ask you guys, and this is a real
I
question.
hope you're ready for another spin.
Hope you ready for a real answer.
So we have the Oz, we have our Cinderella. So what?
Wait, hold up. Oz, like the jail, that TV show.
No,
Adam Beast is my boy.
The Wizard of Oz.
the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay. All right, my bad. Go ahead. Carry on.
So do you think that somebody is going to try to come out with a Little Mermaid with a Ariel of another kind?
Why not? I mean, if it works here with controversy and everything else, why not? Like we roll out like Barbie did with the 12 different Barbies.
But they have they can do it, but when Disney came out with these movies, they had the knockoff movies. So Aladdin, they had to knock off Aladdin.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I got the VHS.
I don't
A
watch.
Negro.
I don't watch Diet Aladdin. I was like, look.
It was
I
a
don't.
Negro.
I
That's what it
don't.
was
I
called.
don't watch Diet Aladdin. I watch Aladdin. There's no point in Diet Aladdin.
But
Who?
Diet Aladdin, like it was a Coke.
Diet Aladdin?
Yeah, I don't watch Diet Aladdin.
I was like, what did you say?
I said
That is your Southern coming out right there.
The alternative. I don't watch the alternative.
Well, anyways,
I get the
they
main.
put out a whole bunch of knockouts of the Disney movies that came back in cartoon back in the day. So, do you think they might put out a knockout, a knockoff of the Little Mermaid?
Yeah, but that's not my thing anyway.
Look, try to make it your thing.
Why would
Y'all be sitting on here talking about sports and all this other
why
stuff.
would I want to make a thing my thing that's not my thing?
But I'm just saying,
It's not my
just
thing.
just
Just
go
put
with me a
yourself
little
in the
bit.
mind
Just
frame.
put yourself in the mind frame.
No.
Well, I'll do it for you. So
Here we go.
why I don't think that's not going to work out? Because let's say you put that out in 2 years. Here's our Little Mermaid, and it's just gonna. So no one's gonna watch it because like you literally made this because it's just a response to a black Little Mermaid.
But I'm saying we made our own.
So we're not gonna have Little Mermaid anymore. We're gonna have Medium Mermaid.
So are you saying we're making our own movie?
No, I'm saying so Cinderella. We got Brandy as the Black Cinderella, and that movie came out.
Yeah.
The Wizard of Oz. We had the Black Wizard of Oz. That movie came out. So what would happen if whoever is upset about this movie, The Little Mermaid, for me, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Not just because she black, because she got locks. You know what I'm saying? Red locks. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, would we, not y'all, okay?
I'm for you.
Would we as a people be upset if they came out with another version of The Little Mermaid because they were upset?
We'll be upset just because they just made it's like y'all already got one. why are we redoing?
But that's how
redoing
people.
the redo?
That's how some people felt about when they made Cinderella and when they made The Wizard of Oz.
I don't think the outcry on the Cinderella thing was as bad as the Little Mermaid was.
And this is just a trailer.
Because people really like Brandy.
Right.
So like that
Yes.
that kind of carried
Yeah.
over too. So like if she's likable, that helps a tremendous amount. Because Brandy had a huge like kind of audience, like crossover audience anyway.
Did she? No, I'm
Yeah.
serious. Did
Yeah.
she?
Yeah,
she
like
did.
I mean, like I knew a lot of people to watch Moesha from a lot. Like they was on.
I knew more.
They was on
'cause of
UPN
the
like
music
heavy.
more so than the show.
Yeah.
Right.
But she had a very strong crossover
Yeah.
fan base. Now, I don't think they'll like redo another Mermaid, but if they wanted to be petty about it, they could, 2 years from now, White Shaft.
Oh,
Hey, have you seen all the memes with the people putting the white faces on the black black posters?
yeah.
Oh, of course. They're
That's
hilarious.
that is really funny. I ain't gonna lie. I like, yo, man, because of the outrage or whatever, I got all this comedy just just swimming everywhere.
And one thing about outrage, it makes for great memes.
Yeah. Because there's so many different directions to go. Like you can make fun of people making fun of people.
Right.
You can make fun of like the original. You can make fun of the remake. And it's as long as everybody has like a good kind of attitude about it. Like I don't really care. I mean, because people gonna say whatever.
Right.
I mean, people have been born to talk about all kinds of people. Hell, man, people talk about Jesus, and not that Passion of Christ Jesus.
Not the black Jesus, but
No, they talked about not the white Jesus. like this guy right here, man. They talked about
Not the white Jesus.
Oh man,
I wouldn't even want to touch that as a filmmaker because all that backlash. I don't know if I would be able to take it.
So I think they're gonna hire Leonardo DiCaprio to play White Shaft.
white shit.
We all love Leonardo DiCaprio.
Do we really?
It's like wouldn't you be like intrigued to watch it?
No.
I
Nah.
let me just see how does Leonardo DiCaprio play Shaft. Oh, and the song.
I mean,
Who's gonna be
my
singing the
goodness.
song?
well, didn't we talk about it
Justin
before?
Timberlake.
Now we can end this.
No. Like, well, here's what I got. Like, okay, didn't we talk about it before? Like, and the reason why I bring it up is because, like, just we're talking about the whole, swapping and all that. There was a story where the one lady had the talking executive out of like the Harriet Tubman story being portrayed by
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
And I
Or
was
was
like-
it Julia Roberts?
I thought it was Sandra Bullock.
No, I think it was Julia.
Was it?
It was
Roberts?
Julia Roberts.
It was Julia because that was so. Either way, it was so insane.
And I was like, what? Are you serious? I'm like, and I guess in some universe you could tell that story, but it's like,
It's a
aren't you? Aren't you trying? God, aren't you trying to sell this to a particular audience? And like, who's gonna buy? Like, when you're pitching stuff like that, who's gonna buy the damn thing? Why would you pitch that to anybody?
Because they thought they could.
Be like, hey, my brothers and sisters, we decided to take liberties.
But they did it with the Pharaohs, though.
Yep, it was Julia Roberts.
Yeah, they did.
And then they coming out with a new movie. What's the name of that movie?
With the Queen of God, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on her name. But every time they play her, it's not.
I mean, there was a little bit of controversy when Liz Taylor played
Your.
what's the
See,
Egyptian queen?
That's what I'm trying to think of, and
Cleopatra.
Cleopatra.
Yeah.
I don't think she's ever been portrayed by a black woman or a person of.
Hell, I want a good rendition of Storm. I want Regal Storm in a comic book movie. Like I ain't even getting that. Come on.
Well, you can put it out. How about that, huh? Well, why don't you work on that? And we get.
There's going to be a rights issue that I'm gonna have to work through.
I mean, just
Oh, because Marvel don't play that.
No, they don't play at all. They wouldn't.
No,
let,
I'm saying,
they wouldn't let the little dying boy.
Cease and desist letters.
They wouldn't put the little dying boy have Spider-Man on his tombstone.
No, I'm saying, why don't you put that together and you go to Marvel?
I'll do a fanfic. I was like,
We'll see how that works.
Marvel just got the rights back to the mutants. They ain't letting me touch nothing.
You
They
could be
barely got Spider-Man back then.
you could be the next director of it, producer.
It'll be nice.
The sky's the limit. What you talking about?
And the limit is the sky. That's what Chris Rock said. Before he got slapped.
That's what the producers said when they tried to sell Julia Roberts as Harriet Tubman. I think you're thinking about this wrong, dude. Like, the sky's the limit.
They try to sell me like VA just now. Like anything is possible. Everything can happen. I'm like, okay.
Let's just try a reimagination of it.
So you think those are the guys who walked into that?
Like surfer dude.
I feel like you have to be the whitest man on earth to think totally a great idea to have Julia Roberts play Harriet Tubman.
I said, man, you went to grade school, public school, and you slept through all Black history.
Black history was only one day.
They only tell you about like 3 different people. Carver with the peanut butter, Martin Luther King, and Harriet Tubman. Those like the cornerstones of Black History Month.
But they
got a poster in the hallway.
You forgot Rosa Parks?
They don't really. I don't think they mention Rosa like
just
as
a little
much
bit
anymore.
Just a little bit.
As much any. Oh, I'm just saying like as far as like the frequency, at least in my experience, whatever. Those were the most frequent figures.
But it was at the back of the book about the page was about this thin right here.
Like, look,
and
it should not be relegated to a month anyway. But like, like that month was just not the best month. Like of teaching instruction that I've ever had in my life. So I'll just leave it at that.
Well, all my Black history I learned at home and at church. They didn't teach it in school. So
honestly, that's how it should be. I mean, we all talking about well, not all of us, but Kevin talking about Jesus.
What?
Kevin talking about Jesus right now.
I'm just saying.
Look, now he backtracking. He like a cornerback right now. He like a cornerback right now doing his pedal drill. He's like about to run backwards.
How I got back into this.
He running backwards.
You want to know how you got back into it? This man right here.
Yes,
okay?
that is me.
Because I totally forgot that we were talking about Jesus.
He was talking about Jesus,
and
I forgot we were talking about the Little Mermaid. So that's just kind of the.
I mean, that's usually how it goes. We'll start off with a subject, and then somebody will veer us off of it, and then I'll try to veer us back on, and then somebody will veer. I ain't calling no names over here.
Damn, man, like
I'm not calling names.
That was.
I'm not calling names.
Wow.
Okay, there's no name calling over here.
Yeah, you just gonna look at me real strong with your eyes.
I looked at Kevin. I didn't even look at you. Kevin, the one who was doing this little range of direction over here.
I was pointing the camera to him, so
Hey, look, all I know,
I'll be guilty here.
All I know is this man was telling me that nobody talked about white Jesus. I like plenty of people talk about white Jesus.
What did he say that in this podcast?
Yeah.
Well, I said it, and then I went to Black Jesus because everybody got the white Jesus on the wall, so of course they.
He said basically what I got from it is like people talked about Black Jesus, but they don't talk about white Jesus.
They don't talk about white Jesus. Huh?
That's what I got from the statement he made.
What statement did you make?
Look, the statement is we're finna get the hell out of here. So, thank you all for listening.
I don't remember none of that. Like, what is going on?
I don't neither. So I don't know.
Are you sure he said that?
Well, hey, replay the tape. Replay the tape.
I'll let y'all replay because I don't remember what I said neither.
Okay.
Oh, I'll probably edit it out.
We were talking about the Little Mermaid. I just want to say that I will go see the Little Mermaid. You know what I'm saying? I have little cousins and a little niece that I am very happy for, and I do not care about nobody's feelings about this movie. You know,
Why you staring at me?
blackity black, black, black,
Why you
black,
staring at me?
black.
I don't care about what you thinking about right now. I was like, man, I'm just listening.
Actually, because I mean, you've got the Little Mermaid coming, which is what, next year or the end of this year?
Next year.
Okay, you got that. We have the film that's now out. So, I mean, are you kind of liking this film? These new films with black women leads?
Oh yeah, it's about time. It's about time. You know what I'm saying? We need more stories with female black leads. You know, that's just like the Emmys just came up. You know, and it took what's her name? What's her name?
A lot of what's her name? Because I show up dropping blanks on names.
What's her name? She just got her Emmy.
Is this?
And it took her a long time to get one.
Lee Ralph, Cheryl Lee Ralph.
Yes, it took her that's ridiculous. It took her this long in her career to get an Emmy, you know, and she was on Marisha. She was on all these other TV shows.
Yeah, but the people like they're gonna be judging those award shows though. They don't watch that.
And culturally, how we see her,
Yeah, it's different.
is different.
Way
than
different.
Maybe the masses may have honestly just found out about her.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I would not be surprised.
But it's also changing. Like the judges are changing as far as the who votes and stuff like that.
Oh, get this. All right, so here's a point that I didn't even think about until like it was pointed out to me. So is this being done just so they can be, you know, because you know they change like awards, ceremony categories and like, you know, criteria and all that stuff. Is some of this being done just so they can be in the awards category? And I'm like, man, I do not want like one of those participation trophies. I don't want that.
That could be a
You saying
point
they're
too.
making more
because
participation trophies.
No, I'm saying because we gotta fill a quota is the reason why we need to get, you know, a black person or a Hispanic person or check these boxes. Because you know they have criteria now for some of these awards that you had to have so many people of color.
But do they have that for the Oscars, the Emmys, and the Grammys and stuff like that?
I don't know about the
I
Grammys.
think they have it for the
I don't
Oscars.
but the Oscars, stuff like that.
I don't know about
So
the
and
Emmys.
it doesn't have to be like a spoken thing. It could be an unspoken thing too. Be like, hey, if you don't have enough diversity in your cast, and I don't know how I feel about that. It is because my whole thing is story over everything, and I want to tell the best stories. I don't necessarily like, you know, I do want to see stories of like, you know, from diverse, you know, faces, voices, people, backgrounds, all that stuff.
Right.
Because those stories are going to be different. They're going to be impactful. It's not going to be just for that community. It's going to be for communities that interact with them as well.
Right.
You know, but it's not like this, you know, whole like, oh, you know, I don't know. I want to see different stories. I want to see more creativity. It's there, but it's just the gatekeepers, or at least the ones that still are in control of, like, you know, most of the purse, you know, per se, for the, you know, old school way of doing stuff.
Money.
They those stories aren't necessarily important to them still. So are they doing it just as like a
I do see your point on that, but then also them creating these criterias and everything almost forced them to kind of span their horizons and look at different forms of programming or shows.
But how are you expanding the thing when you're talking about casting? You know, like that's still not a different story. Why do you, like, you know, for some people to like, why Ariel, why Kal-El, Superman? There's another universe where you have a black Superman. Why not tell that, like, what, Zor-El or something like that, which is like, you know, Krypton name, or like, you know, the whatever planet he comes from.
Right.
I was like, why not tell that story? Why do you have to replace Superman? There's a lot that comes with that, like Batman, like these things. People are invested in these things. Some, I would say, a lot more than they should be. Unhealthy amounts of investment. But like, there's going to be attachment. That's why I'm saying, like, the controversy is baked in. They know they're gonna get flack. They already had press kits made up for as soon as the first like racial anything comes up, and they're like, boom, and they got 50 articles about this one dude on Twitter, and I'm like, that's kind of manufactured. And I'm not saying that it don't happen, because it does. It absolutely does. It happens everywhere. But in the internet, you kind of gotta just roll with some of it, like, because most of that stuff is like bots anyway. So they could be manufacturing the fake outrage.
I mean, yeah, I believe that. Any film, whatever, that comes out, and there's going to be controversy, they're going to hype it up.
And they're like, most people think, oh, controversy sells a certain amount. If it's too controversial, you ain't selling nothing.
Yeah.
Because if it's to the point where somebody's scared to even go in the theater, a la New Jersey Drive on the Eastern Seaboard, if you were a certain race, they're going to beat you up before you get out the theater.
Well, that's why they didn't make the entire cast black, okay?
I mean, I heard stories about that, because I know people that was in New Jersey when that came out. Yeah. And it was like, yeah, people was mad.
Yeah, people are going to get mad.
And like before the movie could end, you had to get up out of there.
Well, I'm hoping that people aren't going to behave themselves, but I'm hoping that it turns out well. I do think that she's going to do a good job. Y'all might not go see it, but I am hard on the live action Disney movies.
I'll see the clips on Instagram.
But I'm saying, if she does a good job, she does a good job.
I'm not saying anything either way.
I mean, like The Woman King is doing well so far. You've seen a lot of people seem to be going. The numbers hasn't came out as of this recording, but you've seen a lot of conversation talked about it. People seem to like it.
Why haven't the numbers came out? Because I think
it's Monday.
They have came out. Some of them, yeah.
They like typically first day numbers come out like the next day.
How long has it been out?
Thursday.
I honestly
Thursday.
Since Thursday?
I thought it was coming out in October. So I honestly 2 days ago.
But I think I saw something yesterday about the numbers, and I think it's doing well. But I think they had a number thing on there.
Oh yeah. So right now it is at 19 million at box office.
How much it cost to produce?
Good point.
And her production company is the one who produced this movie.
Was it exclusive, or was it like a
50 million to make?
Multiple?
50 million. No, I don't know if it's multiple, but her and her husband's production company is the main.
Oh, you talking about the producer?
Yeah, production company. They're the ones.
The two producers, the husband and wife.
Yeah, they are the ones who put it together.
Who are the writers?
I have no clue.
I guess that's back to me.
I got two phones, but I don't usually carry the other phone. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to stunt like that. But from now on, I might have to come in here and
Dana Stevens,
screenplay
writer.
Huh? Go look at that. Dana Stevens wrote that.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
Yeah, I wonder how close she is to the subject matter.
Ain't that something?
I'm sure she did research.
Okay.
Ooh, I wish you hadn't asked me to look.
And who asked wrote it? He did, right?
No, what?
Yeah. Okay. I was just making sure.
Yep.
I didn't know if you just.
I knew where it was going to go.
Because we're talking.
I was hoping I would be wrong, but I'm like,
because we're talking about stories, whatever. I'm interested in the storytellers.
Yeah.
So I'm like, do you just are you just a cosign? Like Hollywood be doing that too.
They do. But I ain't gonna talk about my girl like that.
I ain't talking about nobody. I'm just saying in the whole thing, we know we know a bunch of stuff happens. Some good, some bad, some in the middle of both of those. And I'm like, I don't know. We'll see.
We will see. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time,
and at the same time,
in Hollywood,
they should recast T'Challa. at the same time.
In Hollywood, you know, there's
Yeah, we're
there's
going to see how
rules.
that turns out.
Oh my
too.
goodness.
No, T'Challa dies off screen. Because of the trailer, we know that.
I don't know. I feel like there's something in there that they didn't.
Why would you kill him off screen? Oh my God, man, that's so silly.
You know, you should redo that movie. You drawing the blank.
You went to it. I think he's re-seeing the whole movie in his head.
No, I mean we know the trailer. We have to see like what it is. Like, so I'm not gonna make any aspersions or anything like that. I just like that alone is kind of like a very interesting development that makes me like what? It makes me kind of question a little bit. Like what's going on?
I'm waiting until I see it before I just make, because I saw the trailer too, and I was thinking something like that. But it's Marvel. They can want you to think one thing and then the film be completely something else.
Yeah, but I mean, not every single Marvel movie's been good either.
Hey, they can't bat 100 now. Like,
Can they bat 80% of the time after the last the Endgame movie? Because like, I mean, their ratings are up and down.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's a lot to top that though. That movie was just.
I'm saying, hey, can you get in the 80s? Pixar was at one point in time.
You can't top that movie though. That was a lot.
They were like in the 98 percentile.
If you're thinking they're gonna make something that even, it's probably. I mean, they had to build up to the end game.
No, but I'm saying, can you get in the 80 percentile? Can you make something that's not just like, you know, consumable, but a good story?
Maybe in the next 10 years.
Why does it take that long for you to make like each independent story was pretty good leading up to the end game? Maybe onesie twosies, like, you know.
Now maybe they did not have the pressure maybe back when those first films that they do now.
Yeah, but if you really think
not even pressure, but expectation.
If you really think about the expectation and the pressure and all that, it's always there for anybody in Hollywood. Like that kind of level, that big of a studio. You supposed to be making like out of this world.
But that Marvel pressure is a different kind of pressure. I mean, like, but how many
Man.
Marvel movies is like the highest selling, grossing film ever?
Probably like 4 or 5.
That's big boy pressure.
And then now they're focusing more on the TV series as far as Marvel.
To me, some of that is a mistake. Because your general audience, I understand you're trying to sell subscription, but your general audience is going to go to the movies rather than have this subscription. Because ain't nobody going to have like 80,000 streaming services.
Yeah, you're right.
They might have 2. And some of them might have 3. At some point in time, people are probably going to trim that down to 1.
Do how expensive things are getting? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. But you know, part of it, I think, is they're like, well, we've done this to the movies. Let's see what we can do with television.
Yeah, but like, is everybody going to be there to watch the TV? But I'm saying even the movies are gearing toward the TV. So like, you got to watch the TV show to get into the movie. And I'm like, you still got to make it to where, you know, you don't have to, you're not required to be onto the TV to be able to watch the movie. Because that right there alienates some fans as well. That's one thing that happened early in the comic book industry. They niched it down a lot too much, and even some of the comic shops, because some of the hardcore people that were in there, they just ran like regular people off. They just wanted to experience, and then they made the stories too complex to just jump into.
I guess I just like television. On that
note, I'm gonna go get something to eat. So
yeah, happy birthday, old man.
Thank you. I'm not old. I'm seasoned.
Oh my goodness!
I am very well seasoned.
Oh my! So. I think whatever. Take that any way you want to.
This well seasoned man's going to end this here.
In the episode.
Thank you all. For
Stop saying that.
Well seasoned. Thank you all for watching.
I'm ending this episode.
I guess you are, because the camera went off again.
thank you for tuning in to you.
Seasoning on a man.
This is what I
It's a man. Yeah.
It's man seasoning.
This sounds more like a porno. I want to thank y'all for tuning in on Fuck It, We'll Fix It in Post. Okay, with the host Kevin over here,
Sizzling.
then Karsten right here. Then myself, Victoria V.A. Jones. Now I'm telling you now, go see The Little Mermaid. People who are upset, I don't give a fuck. That's just how I feel about it.
Well, general audience, since she doesn't give a fuck.
But we out.
I think I'll just title this "Fuck It." Fuck it. We're watching Little Mermaid.
That's actually probably a good title. That's probably a good title. Do numbers.
Now that I think about it,
You gonna do numbers?
that may work. Honestly,
Oh my goodness.
it's definitely the video part. Yeah. Let's see how quick this actually downloads. If that's the case, then I'll just give you that now. 110.
Let's break this stuff down and put the stuff together. Oh, my leg hurts. My knee.